Okay, let's talk about boop, Tom Ford Black Orchid. This is my sample, and I already have it on my wrist. And I also wore it the day that I received the sample. Let me just start by saying that yes, this was marketed originally for women, and it very quickly became unisex, and I can see why. Because on me, this comes off as more masculine. It's very nice. You know, it's Tom Ford, so it's quality. It's, you know, upper class, sort of, you could say, of fragrance. When you're talking about Tom Ford, I hate using words like upper class, though. Sophisticated, quality. Um, so this was, was it 2006? Oh, my screen went blank. I'm looking on Fragrantica. So yeah, um, in 2006, and it was announced as an Oriental Chypre. I'm always bad at saying that word, Chypre. Um, and it definitely has that Oriental vibe. To me, it almost has like a Middle Eastern vibe. It's very incensey, dark, earthy, rich, sophisticated. It almost comes off as regal to me. It's of no surprise to me that it is said to be a favorite of Michael Jackson. I love Michael Jackson. And I did have pulled up a list of fragrances that were said to be his favorite. And the reason I would list that is just to give you a general vibe, because I feel like his favorites all kind of share the same sort of vibe. Like, I know he liked Allure by Chanel, Allure pour Homme. Um, and I think it's also listed that he liked Obsession and something Versailles. I did have it pulled up, and I just closed that screen. However, this is said to have been one of his very favorites, and one that he wore a lot of, in his last years, unfortunately. I love you, Michael. Um, Now, this reminds me of something maybe my mother could wear. And I say that because she's not one on fragrance. She doesn't wear a lot of fragrance, but in the past, she has every once in a blue moon put on a little dab of Shalimar Guerlain, and that also is on Michael Jackson's list. So when I say it's no surprise to me, it's because I almost like associate this sort of smell with maybe that that particular generation, but the sophisticated part of that generation, if that makes any sense. This isn't something that I would expect somebody. If I found somebody, some riffraff on the street wearing this Tom Ford Black Orchid, I would be intrigued. I'd have to have a conversation with them, like, it's just not a riffraff or commonplace type of fragrance. It is definitely intriguing. Black Orchid is a great name for it. I get the feel of at night, like in the woods with incense. To me, it almost has a little bit of a medicinal smell. Um, I don't know if I already said it. I think, along with Michael Jackson, I've also heard that this is a favorite of Andre 3000 of Outkast. Andre, if I'm wrong, I'm sorry. This is what I've read. So, but I have read in several places that it was a favorite of Michael Jackson. So yeah, I could see that, like my mom's generation. This is this is a very nice fragrance. It's classy, it's deep, it's rich. Let me go ahead, and it's definitely more cooler weather, fall, winter, and nighttime. It's not a fragrance to be just worn lightly. It's serious and intriguing. That's how I would put it. So the top notes are truffle, gardenia, black currant, ylang ylang. Am I reading this? Yes, I am reading this right. Because I'm not getting all that gardenia or ylang ylang or so. In jasmine, bergamot, mandarin orange, Amalfi lemon, middle notes of orchid, of course, spices. Yes, this is very spicy. And that is the part of it that I do really connect with. I do like spicy fragrances, and I do like the incense. Um, and it says fruity notes, ylang again, which kind of surprises me because I don't get that poppy. Ylang to me usually has a pop to it, and I don't get that. Jasmine, Lotus, base notes of Mexican chocolate, patchouli, vanille, incense, amber, sandalwood, vetiver, white musk. Yes, I definitely get all those base notes. To me, that would be all of those rich, earthy, incensey, like you're in the forest at night, kind of like with some fog, mysterious. That's like the vibe I get. It's a tiny bit of sweet richness. Maybe just a tiny, tiny, tiny bit of the fruit and floral. To me, this really does come off more masculine. This would be very attractive on a man in the wintertime, the right man. This almost has, like I said, like a regal, like upper echelon type person. Anyone can wear whatever they want, but yeah, on the right man, this would be very attractive. And on the right woman, I picture a woman who is very sure of herself, natural yet mysterious and rich. Not necessarily rich monetarily, people, but a richness of character, maybe. This does smell, I don't know, like a faraway place. It's just mysterious. There's mystique to it, but it's strong, it's sound, it's grounded. It's a grounded fragrance. I'm going to go ahead and throw in there that I have heard from others, because as we all know, I mean, Tom Ford in general is by no means inexpensive. So I have heard from others that the company Armaf makes a very good dupe of this. And like I said too, it was originally marketed for women. It just quickly changed, to be known as unisex. So the Armaf one, I think, also probably is kind of labeled as women, but I have heard that it is a very good, very, very, very affordable dupe of Tom Ford's Black Orchid. Armaf, by the way, is the same company that makes the dupe that many people say, and I can't speak from experience, but I've heard many, many people say it's one of the best dupes of Creed Aventus, and their version is called Club Nuit Intense. So I've watched many reviews on that myself, and I've smelled Creed, of course, but Aventus, but I have not smelled the Armaf. But I get the same when people. Apparently, Armaf has some good, very, very affordable dupes. So if you're interested in checking that out, there are reviews on that on YouTube, and I think for the cost, you know, I forget exactly what the cost is. I think it's like 40, $60 or something, if that. So if you're a fan of Tom Ford Black Orchid, you probably should check that out. Let me go ahead and relook up Michael Jackson's list of his favorites. I don't know why I closed my screen on that, because I feel like by reading his list of favorites, you get that idea of the vibe, the same personality. Obviously, it makes sense as this one. It makes sense that his favorites would be kind of like, same personality vibe. And so, yeah. So it said that he really liked Belle Versailles by Jean Desperez, Black Orchid by Tom Ford, of course, Allure Home, Chanel, Orange Spice, Creed, Shalimar, Guerlain. That's the other association I made. Yeah, I had mentioned that my mom would dabble in Shalimar, and it's not surprising to me at all that Shalimar would be on the love list for Michael. Um, and it says Obsession for Men also is on that list. That I could see that with this sort of vibe, if that helps you any. Also, I just want to throw in something about this from Scentbird. To me, could be in the same realm. And ironically, not ironically, but similarly, this is the Harmonist Hypnotizing Fire. This is also marketed as unisex, and I like this very much, but this is definitely more masculine to me. To me, this has the Hypnotizing Fire by the Harmonist has the same vibe as Tom Ford's Black Orchid, and I could see the same type of man liking these two very much, particularly in the winter. This is very attractive. But this is by no means a dupe of this, but this would be in the same family. Definitely, if you want to check that out, if you're a Scentbird subscriber. Fortunately, Scentbird does have some nice niche options. The Harmonist is not a inexpensive house itself. It's a little bit pricey also. Very nice, but just more masculine. Both of these I could wear, but I would really have to be just in the right mood in the evening, around the right people with a certain objective, maybe. Definitely in the cooler weather. These two belong in the same family. Hypnotizing Fire, the Harmonist, and Tom Ford Black Orchid. Both very nice. Come off as grounded and earthy and mysterious, but regal at the same time, and sophisticated and sexy in a dark way. Black Orchid is a great name for it, except for I don't get a lot of the orchid or floral. So that wraps this up. Next time.